Hi, welcome to Games Made Easy. My name is Lavinia and this is my cat Peter. Today I'm very happy to teach you and give you some tips on how to play Catan, Treasures, Dragons and Adventures, designed by Klaus Teuber and published by Catan Studio. This video is for all the Catan fans who asked me to do a tutorial on this expansion. Thank you for your suggestion and I hope you find it useful. There are 6 scenarios in this 3 to 4 play expansion. In this first of 2 parts video, I explained the first 4 scenarios: the Treasure Islands, Into the Unknown, Greater Catan, and the Desert Dragons, where you fight dragons, discover islands off the Catanian coast, along with all the treasures they conceal. I explained the last 2 scenarios, the Greater Canal and the Enchanted Land, in a separate video. You can play these 4 scenarios with the base game and the Seafarers expansion, but if you have cities and knights, most scenarios have rules to also add it. Now let's look at scenario 1, the Treasure Islands, where you discover hidden islands all around Catan. For this scenario, start by building the base island like in the base game of Catan, then surround it with water hexes, add the 9 harbors, 5 special and 4 generic, then take 15 tiles as shown on page 3 of the rules and randomly place them face down to form the 7 islands like this. Then add water hexes all around here. Shuffle and place 15 treasures face down like this and keep the remaining 5 face down in a stack on the side. What we do at home is mark the islands with Catan chits so we always know where all the islands are located, but they don't count as points. Keep the remaining Catan chits nearby, take the 10 number tokens indicated on page 3 and put them in an opaque container. Place both the robber and the pirate ship as shown here. You are ready to start. The game starts like any Catan or basic Seafarers game by placing 2 settlements with adjoining roads or ships. If during the game you build a road or a ship adjacent to a hidden hex, immediately reveal it. If it's a desert or a water hex, take 1 treasure from the supply and reveal it. Immediately make use of it. You cannot keep it for later use. If you discover a terrain hex, collect the corresponding resource. Also randomly pick a number token and place it face up on the new terrain. If it's a gold field, pick 1 resource of your choice. If you build a road or a ship adjacent to a treasure, flip the treasure token and immediately receive the resources, development card, or build roads or ships for free. Also, when you build your first settlement on a new island, collect 1 Catan chit. It's worth 1 victory point. The first player who during his turn reaches 15 victory points in a 3-player game or 14 points with 4 players is declared the winner. It's very easy to combine this scenario with cities and knights. You play for 16 points for 3 players and 17 for 4 players. The only key difference is if you receive a treasure token for development card, you instead pick one of the topmost progress cards from any one of the 3 stacks. Now let's look at scenario 2, Into the Unknown, where new islands, gold and treasures are waiting to be explored across the sea. For this scenario, I'll build a 3-player map. Start by placing the hex of the terrain hexes of the base game randomly, following this crescent shape with the desert in the middle and the number tokens as depicted. Then place the sea hexes like this and place 4 generic harbors there. Place 2 desert hexes here and 2 gold hexes like this with an 8 here and a 6 there. Shuffle the remaining 12 land and sea hexes and place them face down to make the rest of the unknown island. Place the remaining number tokens in an opaque bag. This will be your game supply. Shuffle the 17 treasure tokens and place them face down like this. Keep the 5 special harbors near the board. Place the robber on the desert. There's no pirate in this scenario. For a 4-player map, check page 6 of the rules. You are now ready to start playing. The game starts like a basic Catan game by placing 2 settlements with adjoining roads or ships on the main island. The last player who played immediately places a 3rd settlement and an adjacent road or ship. Then in clockwise order, all the other players place their 3rd settlement and road or ship. All players collect the resources surrounding that 3rd settlement. There are 2 main variations in this scenario. The first one is how you discover. If you build a ship or a road which reaches an intersection with an undiscovered hex, turn the hex face up. If it's a terrain hex, take its corresponding resource. If it's a sea hex, nothing happens. If there's also a treasure token, take the token and look at its back. You now have 2 choices, and they are definitive. You can flip it and collect its reward immediately. Alternatively, you may choose to keep the treasure face down in front of you, and they will give you ongoing advantages depending on how many you have. If you decide to keep the treasure token, it stays in your play area for the remainder of the game and gives you the following abilities. Your first treasure protects from the robber. Instead of being robbed at 8, you're now robbed at 10 or more cards. In addition, your second treasure gives you a specialized harbor, which you take from the supply and place next to one of your coastal settlements. With your third and fourth, in addition to the previous benefits, you also score 1 extra victory point. So that's 2 VPs, 1 special harbor, and a better robber protection if you have 4 face-down treasures in your play area. If you collect more treasures, you have to flip them and collect their benefits immediately. The first player who during his turn reaches 12 victory points is declared the winner. This is the same in 3 and 4 player games. If you wish to combine the scenario with cities and knights, during setup, each player builds a city instead of its second settlement, and the game ends in 14 points. Like with the previous scenario, if you receive a treasure token for a development card, you instead pick one of the topmost progress cards from any one of the 3 stacks. Now let's look at scenario 3. Greater Catan. For this scenario, you start on a central island, like in the base game of Catan. However, as time passes, your resources are running out. Build your map like this for 3 players. The terrain hexes on the central island are placed randomly face up. Use these numbers. For a 4-player game, build the home island with the hexes, numbers, and harbors just like in the base game of Catan. Build the new islands by placing randomly and face up the tiles mentioned on page 9. Place the appropriate number tokens in an opaque bag. This will be your game supply. Place both the robber and the pirate on the map as shown here. In addition, all players receive an additional 4 cities from this expansion for a total of 8 cities each. You are ready to start. The game starts like any Catan or basic seafarers game by placing 2 settlements with adjoining roads or ships. If your ship reaches an intersection of a terrain without a number, take it from the supply bag. If the bag is empty, you take the number from the main island following these 3 rules. Rule number 1, 6 and 8 cannot be next to each other on the new island. Rule number 2, you must take a number adjacent to one of your own settlements or cities. And rule number 3, at least one number must remain around the city or settlement you take the number from. If you cannot follow all the rules, start by breaking them in order, starting by rule number 1. The first player who during his turn reaches 18 victory points is declared the winner. And if you combine the scenario with cities and knights, play up to 20 points instead. Now let's look at scenario 4. Desert dragons, which can only be combined with seafarers, not cities and knights. Start by building the home island by placing 3 desert hexes like this. Place 2 pastures and 2 woods like this. Shuffle the remaining terrain hexes and randomly place them face up like this. Place all the numbers like this. For this scenario, the home island is the same for 3 or 4 players. Then place all the sea hexes and shuffle the terrains listed on the chart page 11. And randomly place the terrain side face up and place the numbers and the harbors like this for 3 players. And as shown on page 12 for a 4-player game. Keep the 18 dragons near the board and you are ready to start. The game starts like any Catan or basic seafarers game by placing 2 settlements with adjoining roads or ships, and in this scenario there's no need for the robber or the pirate. The dragons are enough trouble. After setup, each time you build a settlement or a city, in a 4-player game you place 2 dragons as evenly as possible across the 3 deserts. In a 3-player game, you place 3 dragons. When all 18 dragons have been placed, they attack and are removed from the desert hexes as evenly as possible. When you roll a number adjacent to a dragon, move 1 dragon into the hex. Here it's an 8, so the dragon will go here. If you roll an 11, it is not adjacent to a dragon, so nothing happens. If you roll a 3, you have a dragon here, so you would add a dragon on the 3. If you roll a number where 2 of the hexes are adjacent to dragons, like 4 here, you place 1 dragon on each. You can only ever have 1 dragon per hex. Also, they cannot go on sea hexes. The dragons have the following effects. Like with the robber, you do not collect resources covered by a dragon. Roads bordered by 2 dragons are blocked and turn 90 degrees. They no longer count in your longest road and you cannot connect a new road to it. If a city or settlement is completely surrounded by dragons, it no longer gives you victory points. There's one way you can get rid of dragons. You can use knight development cards. When you play your knight card, you can remove a dragon of your choice. It's completely removed from play. A freed city can now give points again, a freed hex can produce resources, and an unblocked road goes back to normal. Since there's no robber, you cannot use the knight to steal a resource, and also there's no largest army in this scenario. The first player who during his turn reaches 13 victory points is declared the winner. My tips to win a Catan, Treasures, Dragons and Adventurers are the immediate boost, but particularly the benefits and points you get from collecting treasures is extremely powerful. Go for them. It can be a gamble, but being the first to settle into the unknown can give you a significant advantage. You should explore, but it's important you maintain a strong production on the home island. In Desert Dragons, it's hard to get rid of the dragons, so it's essential you build ships out to the neighboring island as soon as possible. Balance growth with defense. You need to build knights to fight dragons and protect your hexes, so be sure to secure a reliable source of ore and wheat for producing them. And that's part 1 of Catan, Treasures, Dragons and Adventurers. I enjoy how each scenario changes the feel of the game. From chasing treasures to battling dragons, there's so much variety. And we're not done yet. In part 2, I'll cover the last 2 scenarios, the Great Canal and the Enchanted Land, so make sure to check them out too. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like, and if you're interested in learning more board games, consider subscribing and clicking the bell to get notified when I post new videos. It's a great way to stay updated on the games I teach, and it helps support the channel. Thank you. I started Games Made Easy with Peter in 2020, and it's been incredible, learning new skills to make the channel possible. I'm very proud of how far we've come and excited to keep growing it. I would like to thank everyone who supports the channel through Patreon, YouTube memberships, Buy Me a Coffee, watching, liking, and commenting. Every bit of support helps the channel grow, and I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you. If there's a game you'd like me to teach, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely check it out. We'll make more games easy soon. Bye for now.